Hello class 8, this is your DJ ma'am again. Today I am back with a very new chapter, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife. In this video, we will try to understand only land as a resource. So here we will know about land resources, land use pattern, what do you mean by land use and what are the factors that affect the land use. We will also read about the causes of land degradation, which is also leading to degradation of land, and along with we will learn about the conservation of land resources. So let's get started. Let us start with a story. Right now, there was a girl named Mamba and there was a boy named Peter. Now Mamba used to live in a small village of Tanzania in Africa, whereas Peter used to live in the heart of sheep rearing region, that is in New Zealand. Now the area where Peter used to live, they have to walk for a long distance so that they can fetch water. Usually Mamba used to help her mother in the household work and also used to help her brothers so that they can take care of the goats. Now, the region where Mamba lives in, they owns a very small piece of rocky land where they can barely grow crops, because the land, that means we can understand the land is not fertile, it is rocky, so barely they can grow some maize and beans. Whereas Peter, he lives in a heart of sheep rearing region where his family runs a wool processing factory. Now when Peter used to come back from home, he used to see that his uncle is taking care of the ships. So they got a shipyard which is situated on a wide grassy plain with hills. So we can see that it is quite grassy, not rocky as it was in case of Mamba where she used to live. Now here where Peter used to live, the shipyard was managed in a scientific way. How? By using latest techniques and technology. Here, they not only used to rear ships, but also they used to grow vegetables. So what we can understand from these two stories, that both the places where Mamba and Peter used to live are different from each other. What is different? Land is different. So what is land? Land means the area which is not covered by water and is an important natural resource. Why? Because we are dependent on land for vegetation. Wildlife is also dependent on land. Different economic activities. For communication, transport, we are all dependent on land. So land supports natural vegetation, wildlife, economic activities, communication, transportation. So land is a very important natural resource. Only 30% of the earth's surface is covered with land resources. That means we can say that 1/3 of the earth is covered with the land resources. Now, because only 30% of land is available, so we can say the land is limited, but every part is not habitable. So because of this, we will see uneven distribution of population, right? So this uneven distribution of population is also responsible not only for the different land features, as we can see here, that the area where Mamba used to live, there the condition of land, and where Peter used to live, there the condition of land, both are different. So not only because of varied land availability, but also climatic factors are responsible for the uneven distribution of population. Now let us move ahead with the areas which are sparsely populated and the areas which are densely populated. So as I said that there is uneven distribution of population which is responsible for different land resources, or we can say due to different topography, climatic factors. For this, we will see that there are some areas where the people are living very close to each other. We can say they are densely populated regions. This is a densely populated region. And there are some regions which are sparsely populated. Now let us see the areas of densely population. Areas of sparsely population. Which will be the areas of densely population? Plain land, river valleys, because these are very fertile and this can be utilized well for agriculture, for settlements. So plain land, river valleys are the areas which are densely populated. Which are the areas which are sparsely populated? The areas of rugged topography, that means mostly the mountainous areas. So there the climatic conditions will be also extreme. Areas with steep slopes. Arid regions, that means the desert areas. Low-lying areas. Why? Because they are more prone to floods. So these are the regions which are sparsely populated and these are the regions which are densely populated. Now let us move ahead with land use. What do you mean by land use? Land use means the use of land for different purpose. That means different purposes for which we utilize the land is termed as land use. Like what purposes? We use the land for agriculture. We use the land for mining, for forestry, for setting up industries. We use the land also for transportation. So these are referred as my land use. Now, there are some factors on which the use of land depends. Factors that determine the use of land. What are the factors that determine the use of land? Number one, physical factor. Physical factor means topography. Like what type of land it is, what kind of soil is available, what is the climatic condition there. Climate depends on topography. Why? Because the regions which are mountainous, mostly mountainous, there we will see the climatic conditions are harsh. So the climatic conditions varies from topography, that is from relief to relief, and also the soil varies from one relief to other relief. In climate, we include temperature and precipitation, which actually helps in determining the quality of soil or what kind of trees or natural vegetation can be grown in those areas. Then we have minerals, that do we have mineral deposits available or not? And the most important, availability of water. Now, what are the human factors that are the determinants of the use of land? Is population and technology. So on these two factors, that is physical factors and human factors, the land use, that means how the land will be used, depends on. Now let us move ahead with the classification of land. On the basis of ownership, the land is classified into or divided into private land. Now, private land means the land which are owned by an individual and nobody else has a right to utilize the resources of the private land. For example, a farmland, that is a private land. And the second one is community land, or it is commonly known as the common property resources. I hope all of you can understand from the term community. That means the resources which are not owned by any individual. The resources are collectively owned by the community or by the society. For example, pasture land, forest, park, all these are referred as the community land or common property resources which can be utilized collectively by all the people living in the particular society or living in that particular community. Now, we will notice that the land use pattern is constantly changing, and because of the change in the land use pattern, we will see that it is putting some effect on the land. So let us move ahead with the effect on land caused by the change in land use pattern. Is a problem of overgrowing population. Now, due to the overgrowing population, it is exerting pressure on the existing land resources. How the population is putting pressure on the existing land resources? Because as the population is growing, there will be increasing demand of food grains. As there will be increasing demand of food grains, that means it will lead to overutilization of the land resources. Increasing use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, which will again lead to the deterioration of the soil quality, over irrigation, Now due to excessive irrigation, it will lead to waterlogging. And due to waterlogging, the soil will become saline. So salinity and alkalinity in the soil will increase. Why? What is the need for over irrigation? What is the need of increasing use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides? Because the population is growing. So there is a huge demand of the food grains. Now, as we know that there is only 30% of the land which is available for our use. That means we can say the land is limited. So from this limited land only, we have to obtain the food grains. There are some land which are wasteland, that means barren land, cannot be used for cultivation as of now. There are some land which are not used for cultivation now, just we have left them so that it can just regain its fertility. So we can see that land is very much limited. And this limited land are being overutilized. Why? Because of the problem of overgrowing population. Now, over-irrigation is leading to waterlogging, as I said. All this is leading to, as we need land for to fulfill the demand of food grains, so it is leading to cutting down of trees in a reckless manner. That means we can say deforestation. It is leading to the problem of overgrazing of the cattle, because they also need pasture land to feed. Dumping of solid waste materials. Due to industrialization and urbanization, we can see that the problem of dumping of this waste materials is increasing, which is reducing the fertility of the soil. Now, all this are leading to the problem of land degradation. Land degradation means the quality of the land is getting deteriorated. Soil erosion, landslide, and the most important, that is desertification. The lands are getting converted into deserts, right? So all this are affecting the land and leading to land degradation, soil erosion, landslide and desertification. Now we need to think of its conservation. So what are the ways to conserve the land resources? Number one, we should plant more and more number of trees. That is referred as afforestation. Planting more number of trees. Land reclamation. That means we need to convert the unproductive land into productive land, so that we can feed the increasing population. As we know that our population is ever growing and the demand of food grains are also increasing. The land is limited, so what we need to convert the unproductive land into productive land so that we can increase the agriculture and production of food grains. We need to check on overgrazing. so that it can reduce soil erosion. Regulated use of chemical, pesticides and fertilizers. Proper treatment of industrial waste. Before dumping them into the land or into the water bodies, we need to provide a proper treatment of the industrial waste. So these are the ways by which we can conserve the land resources. Land resources are finite and very important for all our living beings. So it is important for all of us to conserve the land resources for our future generation also. Hope so all of you understood the topics that we covered today. That is land as a resource, the areas which are sparsely and densely populated, land use and the factors that determine the use of land, the resources on the basis of ownership, the causes of land degradation, or we can say that what are the effects of change of land use pattern, effect on land, and also the ways to conserve our land resources. So do follow the video, read your NCERT book, and if you like my video, do give a like and comment for suggestion. In the next video, we will move ahead with the next topic. Till then, stay tuned to my channel, do subscribe and stay safe.